In this video, we will focus on data drift check process. In last video, we have seen how to generate data expectation based on all the columns and how we can store all those data expectation within my storage system. So I have shown how we can store it within the local file system, but we can easily configure the backend to store all those artifacts within my cloud storage, which could be your AWS S3 or Azure or Google Cloud. Okay. And as a part of data drift check process, what it will do, it will take the data expectation from my storage system and it will compare the data expectation against the live traffic. And if my data drift check process will find any mismatch between data expectation and the live traffic, it will raise an alert. Okay. So here we will focus on the data drift check process, how we can generate the script so that it can perform the required operations. Okay, so now let's go to the hands-on part. Okay, so here I will simply exploring the Great Expectation package, and Great Expectation package provides an option to combine your expectation suite, which we had created as a part of earlier videos, and we will take the production data. So in my case, the production data would be your evaluation data or it could be your serving data. So I will show you quickly what exactly we would be doing as a part of validation check process. So here I have already created 3 different data sets. So we had used Uber Ride Train for creating the baseline data expectation, and you can see that we have 2 separate data set, eval and serve, and we would be using these 2 data set for performing the validations against the baseline data expectation, and then we'll see what outcomes it provides. Okay, so Great Expectation provide an option for checkpointing your asset. So what it means, it will take data asset, it will take expectation suite, and it will combine everything in a single unit, which we call a checkpoint. So we'll see that option, Great Expectations. Okay, expectations. It has an option for checkpointing. You can see the first option, which is checkpoint. Okay, and then it has an option called for creating new script, and then it has an option for running that checkpoint, and then we also have option for generating a script, Python script. Right, so we'll see how we can generate the Python script, because this Python script we can very easily integrate it with my automated pipeline. Right, so here we have 2 options: generate all the checkpoint manually and test it with the help of command line, and generate your Python script for your automated pipeline. Okay, so we have both the options. So here first we'll try to explore the manual option, checkpoint new, and we'll give the name of the checkpoint. So Uber checkpoint. And now I need to provide the expectation suite, which we would like to attach with this checkpoint. So as you can see that the checkpoint, we had created this checkpoint which contains all the details with respect to different set of expectations we had created for all the columns. Okay, so we'll just copy it and we'll paste it here and we'll press enter. And now it will ask you to choose the relevant data set against which you would like to perform the validations. So I will give 1 and I will use evaluation data, right? Because I would like to perform validation against the evaluation data, just to make sure that the training and evaluation data have similar distributions and we don't have any mismatch. Okay, so we'll choose 2. It has been created and it's stored within this checkpoint folder, and we'll just see what it contains within checkpoint folder. within great expectation and within checkpoint, you can see that this has been created. So we'll see what it contains. So as you can see that it contains the location of your file, right, data source, and it also has Uber data expectation which we had configured. So now you can see that it combines your data and the expectation shoot, and once you will run it, it will try to validate whether this data meets all the requirement which we have defined as a part of Uber data expectation or not. If it pass, we'll get some result as a part of outcome, and at the same time it will also store all those validation results within my directory. So I will show you how we can check those aspects. So now it has been created. Now we'll try to run it, and for that we need to execute this. So just copy it, paste it, and run it. Okay, so now it's performing a check against my validation data, right? And you can see that it has passed. All 59 expectations have been passed, 100% success. So that's the way we can perform the validations. Okay, and we'll see where it has stored all those results. So for that you need to go to uncommitted, and within that validations, within validations this Uber data expectation, because that's the expectation shoot we had used, and within that it has different versions. So you need to check the latest version for your run. So 11.27. Okay, just click it, and here you will find the JSON layout. Just open it, and it contains the entire JSON layout for all the expectation we had, right? So you can see it. Okay, and for every validation you'll find something like this: success true or success false. I will show you what it means. So success true, we'll see success is true, and for any validation which has failed, it will have a flag called false. Okay, so in this way we can check the outcome, and if you need to perform any operations based on the failure, you can perform it, because it's a pure JSON layout, and whatever operations you need to perform against those failure condition, you can very easily configure those options within your Python script. Okay, so because it's a pure JSON format for your outcome. Okay, and now we'll see how we can create a script for the same set of operation which we had performed manually. Okay, because the script is suitable for the automation perspective, and we can very easily integrate it with my data pipeline or whatever pipeline we have built for drift check process. So we'll see. Uber, so now we'll create, instead of run or new, we'll create a script. And it will ask for the checkpoint. Okay, we need to give the checkpoint name. So we'll just see checkpoint list. Okay, and you can see Uber underscore checkpoint. Okay, that's fine, and now we'll use it. The name of my checkpoint, Uber checkpoint. So now it will create a script, and you can see that a script has been stored within my uncommitted folder. So now we'll go to uncommitted folder, and here it has generated one Python script. We'll open it, and you can see it has all the instructions required to run your checkpoint. Okay, so here it's accessing my validation data. So whatever data we need to use for validation, is simply using that data, and then it's performing a validations against the expectation suit. Okay, so you can see it's running a validation operator, and asset to validate, it's using this asset to validate, batch to validate. Okay, and it will, and if the outcome is success, it will return 0. If the outcome is failure, it will return response as 1. And whatever operations you need to add within your success or failure condition, you can add it, right? So whatever mechanism you would like to raise an alert, or for logging any informations, or storing it at somewhere, so you can easily integrate it within your Python script. Okay, and now we'll see how we can modify our data set so that we would be able to see the outcome for any failure conditions, because we have seen how we can check it for success, and now we'll forcefully modify the content of my serving data, right, which we need to use for testing purpose. And here I am forcefully modifying this to taxi large, like this, because this contains unique set of values, name, right? And if we'll simply explore the validation suite which we had generated, it has a check that it will always have value which falls within certain product or services. We'll see. Uber, I think we had something. Just search for Uber. See, it has check expect column distinct value to be in set, right? Because if my production data will not fall within this set, it will raise an alert, and we have modified forcefully taxi to taxi large, so hopefully it will fail. Okay, so we'll see what will happen now. As we have stored, we'll save it. Okay, that's fine. I think it was closed. We'll open it again, no problem. Go to this PD model monitoring. Okay, and grade expectations, checkpoint, run. We'll create new checkpoint. So checkpoint, new Uber checkpoint, eval, or deploy, for deployment, and we'll give the name of my expectation. So the name of my expectation was this one. Rename. We'll give it here. Press enter. And now it will ask for which data source you would like to configure. So I will get one. And this time I will be using serve. Press 3. So now it has been created against my serve data. Because in the serve data we had modified the type from Uber, for taxi to taxi large for one of the fields. Okay, and now we'll run it. Now we'll run it, simply copy it and run it. And hopefully this will fail for certain validations. See, you can see it. Uber data expectations, this has failed. 57 of 59 has passed, but I think 2 validations has failed. And 2 validations are, you can see it, which validation would have failed. We'll simply search for Uber. So first validation was this, where we would be expecting this value to be in this set, which failed. And again we had some check for KL divergence to be less than this, I think, which is again failed, because it does not have any entry for taxi large. And my data drift check process is able to identify those mismatch, and it has failed. Okay, and we can easily create the script the way we had created for the validation data. The process is exactly similar. We just need to generate the script against the deployment or serve data, and use it in your automated pipeline. And the output for this activity would have stored within my uncommitted, and within that validations, within validation Uber data expectation, and you need to take the latest version, which is this. Okay, and once you'll click it, you'll find that we'll have two entries for success equal to false for those two failed validations. Okay, so you can simply find it. So we'll just show you Uber. Okay, here we'll just search for where it has failed. It will have one flag called success equal to false or true, and for this it will have value as false. You can see success equal to false because this has failed. And similarly, we'll have one more entry with the similar representation. So in this way, we can check and validate, and whatever details or artifacts we have stored within the local file system, we can store all these artifacts within my cloud storage system. And for that, we just need to make certain changes in the expectation file. So here, so that it will store all those artifacts within AWS S3. And in subsequent video, we'll see how we can modify the backend so that it will store it within my AWS S3 location. And that would be very handy, so that my automated pipeline can automatically pick those artifacts from AWS S3 location and perform whatever operations would be required at a given point of time. Okay, because here you can see that data docs, it's stored within the uncommitted folder, right? So everything has been stored within the uncommitted folder, validations uncommitted folder, and we can make a change to store it within my AWS S3 location, because here the class name is file system stored backend, right? But for cloud storage, we'll have different class name for storing it to the appropriate storage system. Okay, so that's it for now. Thanks for watching it.